As snow moves out, cold temperatures move in. We're talking a winter-like chill.
The snowfall is over, but the deep freeze is just getting started. We've got the latest on road conditions from the KREM 2 Storm Tracker all evening long.
I think that he felt that he was going to get away with it and be able to live free, just not in the United States.
And captured after 3 years on the run, a man accused of killing his wife in Spokane County is arrested now in Europe. How police caught up with him coming up.
KREM 2 News at 4 begins now with Whitney Ward and Jeremy Legoo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. Well, forget about fall. Today was all about winter weather here in the inland Northwest. Several inches of snow fell overnight, more than that in some places, and we have been tracking road conditions all day long. We are beginning our team coverage tonight with our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy, all this snow of course has piled up, but now it sounds like it's got some real potential to cause slick conditions for the evening commute because as the sun goes down, it's going to start freezing, right?
Yes it is. And rather quickly, right now, just for reference, we sit at 28 degrees. So as soon as we lose a little bit of that sunshine, all bets are off. We did see quite a bit of snow across the region. Quick touch on some places around Spokane. So Dishman area, about 6 inches, 5 mile area, about 5. Out at the airport, about 4, Coeur d'Alene, about 3. All of that is enough that we're going to see some problems. So what's going to wind up happening is that once we lose that sun, the temperatures are already cold enough that we get the freeze, and that's going to take over and happen quite quickly. Right now, the ground's still pretty warm, and that's helping us, but we've got a big-time Arctic push of air coming in, and that's going to change the game. A little bit of scattered snow activity. If we take you back outside, you might start to see some more of those little scattered lighter snow showers. More accumulation? Not much. In fact, we continue to clear out, and by tomorrow, we might even see a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon. But all in all, we're talking a very chilly few days ahead, and so that means snow that melts, then refreezes, and it becomes very difficult to get that to start melting again. So maybe each afternoon we catch a break, but really, it's going to be slick roads for the next few days.
All right. Sounds good, Jeremy. Thank you very much. So as you are out and about, be prepared for those slick road conditions. Our Amanda Rowley is in the KREM 2 Storm Tracker right now. Amanda, how do the side streets especially and the main roads feel at this hour?
Well, Whitney, they're looking pretty good. Let me give you a quick look off to the side here on those side roads. We're actually getting on to eastbound to I-90. You can take a look at the side roads. They're looking pretty wet. Oh, man, but check out the traffic that we're running into. This is the Freya on-ramp coming off of the South Hill onto I-90 eastbound. Looking like a little bit of a congestion here. It is 4 o'clock though, so we tend to see traffic build up here. But roads altogether, let's see if you can take a look at the roads here. Pretty bare and wet. Looks like it's mostly melted. A lot of slush on the side of the roads, but for the most part, it looks like it's pretty much cleared up just as we're getting onto I-90 again eastbound. We'll be checking in a little bit later here, just give you another front look at some of that traffic that we're seeing out here on the interstate. The side roads did look pretty wet. There's maybe some buildup of slush. We'll be checking back in here in half an hour, give you a closer look at road conditions as you continue through your evening commute. We'll send it back to you, Whitney.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. And we will check back in at 4:30 as we continue to track those road conditions, as well as tomorrow morning. You can get the very latest for your morning commute, how to get the kids off to school. Make sure and join us for Up with KREM tomorrow from 5 to 9 a.m. And as we continue to track those freezing temperatures and all the snow, these conditions are extremely dangerous, especially for those without permanent housing. KREM 2's Janelle Finch is checking in on one of Spokane's most vulnerable populations and how the community is trying to support them through this early winter weather. Hi, Janelle.
Whitney, temperatures are cold and they are just going to continue to get colder. So today I'm speaking with Executive Director of Jules Helping Hands, Julie Garcia, about how the community is keeping people safe, warm, and alive. Garcia says local and state resources are supporting the camp. She says churches have come together to provide hundreds of sleeping bags, and extra Washington State Department of Transportation security are keeping an eye on burn barrels to keep people warm, but also to make sure property doesn't catch on fire. She says there is also a warming tent inside the camp that operates 24 hours a day. Garcia explains what challenges her organization faces with colder conditions.
Every morning we do tent checks at 6 a.m. That means we go tent to tent and make sure everybody survived the night. That's the main thing. It's hard to know that as we sleep, there's people sleeping outside in this cold, and as much padding as we can give them, they're still outside in this weather.
Garcia says for those who are ready, her organization is helping to move people to the trench shelter 3 miles from the camp. As of Sunday night, the trench shelter reported 223 people in-house. With 250 beds and 100 mats, the shelter is able to hold up to 300 people. But with over 400 people reported at the homeless encampment off of I-90 in Freya and several people staying on the streets downtown, it's a numbers game to find everyone a warm place to stay. According to the city, 30% of shelter space was in use as of last Wednesday. We've also reached out to Catholic Charities for an update on their Catalyst project. That project is set to bring 100 shelter beds to the Quality Inn off of Sunset Boulevard. That project is set to launch December 1st. In the meantime, the city is encouraging people to take advantage of available shelter space. Reporting live in Spokane, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. In our other top stories today, we have new details now about a 3-year-old Spokane County murder case. The sheriff's office announced this morning the man suspected of killing his wife, hiding her body in a freezer, and then fleeing the country is now in custody. Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich says law enforcement captured Wahid Kashifi in Europe last month. The sheriff's office, FBI, Department of Justice, and the DOD spent the last 3 years tracking him all around the world. Investigators say they were eventually able to catch up to him at a volleyball tournament in Europe. That is where local police then took him into custody. Court documents say just days after the suspect fled the U.S. in 2019, deputies found his wife's body hidden under a false bottom in a freezer. Investigators later found a video of the suspect admitting that he killed his wife.
He admitted to the homicide. He gave a full confession as to why he did it, and it's very telling.
That note, though, I mean, is there any reason to believe he was coerced into filming this video, admitting himself?
Based on what I saw in the video, absolutely not.
So the extradition process now to bring Kashifi back into the U.S. is underway, but investigators say it is an extremely complex process. That means it could take up to a year or even longer for this suspect to return to Spokane County and face trial for first-degree murder. More than a year after a dump truck crashed into it, the Dutch Bros on Freya will be reopening soon. According to an Instagram post this weekend, they're getting ready to open back up. There's no set reopening date yet, but they are currently hiring for this location. You'll recall back in August of last year, 7 people were injured in this crash and the stand itself completely destroyed. As you can see, in February, a judge sentenced the truck driver to 15 months in prison after he admitted to police that he took meth the night before that crash. Starting today, the warning period for 3 new school zone speed cameras in Spokane is over. Those zones near Ferris High School and Adams and Roosevelt Elementary Schools will reduce speed limits to 20 miles an hour while the school zone lights are flashing. The cameras have been posted on Bernard, Regal, and Ray. Over the last several weeks, violators were getting warning tickets in the mail, but now if you're caught speeding in a school zone there, you will get a real ticket and a fine of up to $450.